welcome back, dear viewers. This is Maverick here with episode 3 of Deca-Dence. So, such a great twist last episode, right? To think that the world had actually been taken over by these alien slash cyborg slash robot kinds of race or thingies or whatever you want to call them, and humans are nearly wiped out, and really the only remnants of humanity are currently living in this sort of controlled environment, right? For the sake of entertainment of others. You know, kind of a la the Truman Show, right? Although in this case, the focal point aren't the humans themselves; they're more like the NPCs, and actually the robots or whatever we're gonna call them are actually using avatars, the gears within this world, in order to play a sort of reality game. Super interesting situation here. There have been similar concepts, of course, in various other medias as well, but not to this point where it's actually the robots enslaving the humans, right? So that makes it super unique, super interesting, and I hope to God they don't screw the story up, because that's a majorly common shortcoming of a lot of studio originals. But in any case, last time we were left off, Natsume was about to start receiving some training in order to learn how to fight, and I think since this is an original, right, it has to be wrapped up by the end of this series, by the end of this season. I do think the end goal here is to actually expose the entire situation, but what exactly is that going to accomplish, right, considering the world has already been taken over? Those are some hard questions. Let's just get right into the episode right now and see what's going to happen in this one. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. A bug. No playback without purchase. Why would you have to purchase to watch this? For what? Blood loss? Shock? Huh. Okay. Still though, you would think that... I guess I don't want to question it too much. You would think that with a civilization that has this kind of technology, they'd be able to detect this kind of situation, that there's an outlier here, there's someone that's unaccounted for much more easily. Then again, things get lost in big corporations all the time, right? Misplaced assets and all that, so, yeah, well. I should probably also pay a little bit of attention to this opening, considering it's actually different, right? Now that we know the entire situation. But why would they fight using that? If you're gonna go so far as to make this into a game and allow people to fight, why are they using that sort of like pipe weapon and whatnot? Guess it adds to the aesthetic. Zone. Okay. An anti-gravity field. Yeah. Well, that's certainly, convenient. Hey, you asked for it, girl. Does she even know how to use that weapon? No, I guess pressing the trigger isn't that hard. At least let her do some target practice. Motion sickness. Your turn. Tutorial zone. Right? Some people just need a reason to be alive. 200. So there are still some that fight alongside them. No. Nah, do some basic training first. Still gotta do your normal work. Basic training stuff. I wonder how long this took. Headshot. Oh, and what bug did they fall to? I'm certainly interested in that. What did Natsume do there that was so innovative? Like, did she think of a new way of using the accelerator? Ah, here we go. Okay. Acquired the rights to all humanity? Okay. Oh, this isn't aliens. These cyborg robots, etc., was man-made. No, these are robots. They are AI, right? Okay. That's like the worst idea I've ever heard. They're both bugs? This is a... It's not as dexterous using that. Oh, gonna help her upgrade? Huh. So even in this sort of isolated dwelling, there's still slums. Yeah, upgrade time. That's pretty neat, actually. Whoa! Hmm. This is like she's part machine now. I do wonder though, they said that the originals were cyborgs. So, they're still human in them, just maybe mostly replaced with machinery parts? Oof. This is certainly different. Ah, underground burrowing, eh? I thought it was actually going to be like a super big ghetto. So are these actually players as well? So what happens if this guy fails? Uh, and then right. Jeez. The luck of him. Where's Natsume though? No attackers. Oh. That's why it's a bug. Huh. So Gatos are programmed. Well, I guess that would make sense, right? Considering they are supposed to be the monsters that they slay. You bought a place of dwelling just so you could keep this little guy. Damn. Actual battle. Alright, alright. Well, see you guys after this. Alrighty, so in this episode, Natsume does indeed learn how to fight. And as we can see at the very end there, she's probably going to be using her new and improved arm to make her debut on the actual battlefield here in the next episode. I'm glad that they sort of like fast forwarded through all the training montages and whatnot. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do find the concept cool and whatnot, and I enjoy a good action as well. It's just that for this series, I don't really think the focal point is going to be on the action that much. So, just get it out of the way, right? Honestly, the biggest thing that I'm getting from this particular episode is indeed still the context, the entire context and background leading up to what we have right here, right? So, I think there's one very interesting thing that they mentioned, and that is they called themselves cyborgs, right? These are actually cyborgs that were made by corporations back when humanity still ruled the earth. So this is not aliens or whatnot. These are entirely man-made, and note that they use the term cyborg and not android or robot or AI, right? Now, cyborg generally means that you still have some, you're basically augmented, right? You might originally be a human, and then maybe you get most of your body parts replaced with mechanical parts and whatnot, but there's still, it's a fusion between bio and mechanic, right? So there is still some human flesh, or whatever animal you want. There is still some organic flesh within it in order for it to be called a cyborg. So does this actually mean that these cyborgs, if you will, they are actually all, I guess, humans as well, except very, very heavily modified and enhanced in a way? Question mark. Right? Because for traditional naming of, like, I don't know if maybe Japan uses it a little bit differently, but honestly, the best example of a cyborg right now would actually be Natsume herself, right? With her arm, she's got this sort of upgraded mechanical arm that actually receives. It can be controlled by her brain directly, right? So that is a perfect example of being a cyborg. Her one of her body limbs was replaced with something mechanical, but it's still, it's not like just a mechanical arm welded on and then you control it with a remote control or anything. It's literally going directly, like being powered, being controlled by your brain, right? So that would be what a cyborg is. And I do kind of wonder if that's really intentional, right? Considering that we now have humans, we have cyborgs, and really, really, I guess, I don't know, like very, very, very mechanized cyborgs, and then we got Natsume here, who is also kind of sort of a cyborg in her own way, but still more leaning towards the humanity side, right? I think this was a deliberate choice, and that might play a role in the future in terms of reconciliations or whatnot. Now, they did mention something pretty funny to me, actually, and that is what was the corporation that they call themselves again? I kind of forgot. Anyways, the one that built Deca-Dence, right? They supposedly acquired the rights to all of humanity. Now, I seriously don't understand how you could ever have a situation where you can buy and sell the rights of people. And whatnot, but okay, for the sake of story, I guess. And also in the scenes that we do see of the corporation, we also see that there's lots of other corporations as well. So more specifically, I think about 5, right? So that means that this is not a case where this one central authority has basically taken over all of Earth, but that there might be other factions out there that are more receptive towards humans and whatnot. And indeed, even for this particular company, right? I don't even think that we should specifically say that it's being, hard or being bad to humans or whatnot. It's simply utilizing them in what the system thinks it would be the most efficient way possible. I mean, the system here is more akin to, I guess, artificial intelligence as we know it, where it is a pure machine that makes decisions based on cold hard facts, right? So there's never any malice in the system is what I'm trying to get here. So humans, if they do wish to live cordially with the cyborgs and whatnot, there's totally a way to do so, right? Because it's not like the cyborgs really want them dead or anything. So those were the more interesting things and more interesting takeaways of this episode. Well, so how exactly can we end it, right? Now, obviously, number one would probably be trying to make an appeal towards the system and whatnot, and that would probably be the best case scenario. Hey, don't use us as these nameless NPCs anymore. We got feelings too. We have our own lives to live, and it's so on and so on, right? Or, since I mentioned also that there are other corporations, there are other companies that might be on the equivalent size, they could maybe try and enlist the help of those other corporations, which might have a more lenient attitude towards humans and whatnot, right? So, anyways, still keeping up with the interesting stuff, although this episode did seem a little bit more like your typical shonen and whatnot. But, well, if that does mean we get some pretty epic fight scenes in the next episode, then, well, fingers crossed for that, right? And really want to push the story forward in terms of this entire cyborg and humanity kind of thing. I feel like there might be a little bit more information that we can glean out first before making an ultimate decision as to which avenue we want to pursue here. Or at least in my case, trying to predict which kind of approach that they are going to take in universe. Anyways, that's it for Deca-Dence episode 3. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys next week as well. Stay tuned. Bye bye.